Their father disappeared nearly 60 years ago. And while the medical examiner still has to identify the bones, the family in Lake Grove say they believe they've been living with his remains all of these years.
Long Island reporter Kristen Thorne spoke with the family and is there tonight with more for us. Kristen?
Diana and Sade, George Carroll went missing in 1961, leaving behind his wife and 4 children, all under the age of 10. The kids were always told that their father went out to, quote, do something and just never came home. And they were told growing up to never ask about what really happened to their father. When their mother died in the 1990s, they became curious about what happened to their father, even consulting psychics and interviewing people who used to live in this neighborhood.
Some of us believe that we were, abandoned at one point, that this could mean something else, and that, he was always here. And it's kind of comforting to think that.
Could Stephen Carroll's dad be the remains that have been found buried in the basement of the family's longtime home on Olive Street in Lake Grove? His brother, Michael Carroll, who now owns and lives in the home, believes it could be.
This is something as we grew up, we heard multiple stories.
In fact, Michael Carroll began excavating the basement 3 years ago looking for his father.
It became dangerous, all right? And where I was digging was actually going to destroy the house.
Carroll put the project on hold until recently when he hired someone who used ground-penetrating radar and pointed them to a possible spot in the basement. Carroll's 2 older sons have been digging for months, and then Tuesday night they found bones buried about 6 feet down, surrounded by cement walls.
Probably going to be my dad. Probably. I don't know that right now. If it is, all I can tell you is it's the happiest day of my life because I've always felt that he deserved better.
After all this time and the suspicions and, looking and trying to locate him after nearly 60 years, that the family can now, rest assured that we can give him a proper memorial and burial.
The Suffolk County medical examiner took the remains and is testing the DNA to determine if the remains are indeed that of George Carroll.
And if it is your father, you have no idea who may have done this?
I do.
Mike Carroll didn't want to expand upon that, only saying that the last person who probably knew what really happened to his father died about 3 months ago. Mike Carroll says a missing persons report was never filed for his father. He says his father was an Army veteran in the Korean War, and if the remains do turn out to be his father, they will have him buried at Calverton National Cemetery.